This is your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Thursday, August 15. A warm welcome to you. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. A new twist in ongoing investigations into the death of a British national in Barbados. One day after British media published reports that Natalie Critchlow died on August 6 after she was strangled and set on fire by a man, Police Commissioner Tyrone Griffith delivered a full report revealing that the ongoing probe has not revealed any sign of an intruder.
Investigations to date have focused on closed-circuit television from an adjacent house, and this is of very high quality. Examination of this footage has clearly demonstrated that no one entered those premises for hours prior to the fire taking place. The corrugated fence was fully intact, apart from the sheet that was removed to provide access to the victim. The footage shows that the fire originated in the area of the kitchen, and was concentrated there. The side of a saucepan was completely burnt away, leaving the bottom of the remnants of food. At the bottom, the remnants of food. 2 gas bottles were found in the kitchen area, one with no negligible damage, and the other having the area where the gas head normally connects the bottle, melted. The victim's clothing was taken away to be examined forensically for any traces of accelerant. The scenes of crime officers indicated that there was no smell of accelerant in the house or on the clothing of the victim. House-to-house inquiries have been conducted and are persisting in the Sergeant Village area. Rumors have been circulating to the effect that a man who once lived at the said house might be involved in the death. This man was identified and interviewed along with the brother of the deceased, and to date there is nothing to suggest that he had any involvement in this matter.
Attorney General Dale Marshall expressed condolences to the family and loved ones of the British woman.
Whatever the circumstances, the loss of any life in Barbados, especially for someone who would have come to Barbados for something that we are best known for, a place to relax and to get away, whatever the circumstances, that loss of life is tragic. On behalf of, therefore, of the entire cabinet, the entire government and the people of Barbados, we especially want to extend our sympathy to the grieving family and friends both here and abroad. Over and apart from anything else that is being done in terms of an investigation, the Prime Minister, with the full support of Cabinet, has today given certain directions to demonstrate tangibly the support for the grieving relatives at this time, and details of that will probably be made available to the press by the BTMI.
Prime Minister Mia Mottley this evening announced a bold multi-million-dollar initiative for the island's youth. It's known as the Barbados Youth Advance Corps, and it will replace the operations of the Barbados Youth Service. The program is open to school leavers over the last 2 years. It will take 800 to 1,000 persons per year who will receive all types of training and career development over a 2-year period.
One of the key platforms for the various cohorts will be exposure to digital transformation, whether from a graphics perspective or a coding perspective or a perspective of the robotics end of it, for those who are more mechanically oriented, making of different products, including drones. They will be exposed to construction, they'll be exposed to design, they'll be exposed to community projects and service, both of a welfare nature as well as an infrastructure nature. They will be effectively what other countries may call a civil defense corps. And the students will receive a monthly stipend of $600 to help them get there and get home and take care of themselves. But effectively, that 2-year period will be a combination of learning, discipline, citizenship reinforcement, and also the ability to participate in some form of work attachment.
Youth Minister Adrian Ford told reporters at the post-cabinet press briefing that government is responding to the need to develop strong, productive citizens.
The National Youth Service really needed a rebranding, a refreshing. We are steadfast in our mandate to produce a center of excellence, where excellence must be the standard bearer as it relates to our young people. And so we will carry out a series of training programs, developmental programs, to ensure that when these young persons leave this civil youth advanced corps, that will have the basic tenets that they can succeed in life. Because I think that is the most important thing, and that's why we are here, to ensure that there's a space for our young people to achieve the Bajan dream.
An attorney at law accused of stealing thousands of dollars was granted $400,000 bail with 2 sureties. It is alleged that Hilary Jeffrey Nelson of Bacatel Terrace, St. Michael, stole over £347,000 sterling or 855,000 Barbados dollars belonging to Errol Hewitt between November 18, 2018 and March 4, 2019. The 74-year-old was not required to plead to the charge when he appeared before Magistrate Christy Coffey Sargent with his lawyer Naomi Linton today. The accused had to surrender his travel documents to the No. 2 District A Magistrates Court. He must also report to the Black Rock Police Station every Friday before 4 p.m. with valid identification. Nelson will make his next court appearance on February 18 next year.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news now, the Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister declares that his government is not in crisis. Dr. Keith Rowley made it clear that the ship of state is flowing smoothly despite the recent firing of Public Administration Minister Marlene MacDonald, who is on bail after being charged with corruption. Rowley, however, admitted that he made an error in judgment by having returned MacDonald to the cabinet. Meanwhile, the new minister in the Ministry of Finance, Alison West, will take charge of the portfolio.
In attendance at the Energy Ministry's event, Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Alison West, who will now also serve as the new Public Administration Minister.
I wasn't shocked because I have acted in the position a couple of times when Ms. MacDonald was ill and that kind of thing. So it's a new challenge. I'm looking to see what difference I can make in the short time that I have.
Did she have any communication with Ms. MacDonald?
I did reach out to her, but by message, because by then she would have been in hospital, so I didn't want to disturb her. Asking her if there was anything I could help with and wishing her all the best in dealing with the difficulties before her.
And the minister's thoughts on Ms. MacDonald's tenure as Public Administration Minister?
Marlene was a very hard worker. She used to come to cabinet. She knew what her ministry was all about and she had plans. Even in anticipation of issues that the Prime Minister would raise, she would say, yes, I've already put things like that in place. So she was a hard worker, and I know there are big shoes to fit in. So I had to go to the ministry and determine what her plans were and see if I can get those accomplished in addition to introducing my own ideas.
On the international scene, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Thursday barred U.S. Democratic Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar from making a planned trip to Israel after the U.S. President Donald Trump called on his ally not to let them in. More in this report from Reuters Television.
U.S. Congresswomen Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar will be barred from entering Israel in an upcoming visit. The decision was announced by Israel's deputy foreign minister shortly after a tweet from President Trump Thursday urging Israel to not let in the elected representatives of his own country. Quote, "It would show great weakness if Israel allowed them to visit," Trump wrote, claiming, quote, "They hate Israel and all Jewish people." Omar and Tlaib, the first two Muslim women elected to Congress, have voiced their support for the pro-Palestinian boycott, divestment, sanctions movement, also known as BDS. Under Israeli law, supporters of boycotts of the country can be denied entry. But just last month, Israel's ambassador in the U.S. said the representatives would be let in out of respect for Congress and the U.S.-Israeli relationship. The two Democrats had planned to tour the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem this weekend.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.pb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and Bus Terminal, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.